Hi there, I'm James with Penner Trailer Sales, and I'd like to take some time today to talk about roll-off trailers. We've sold a lot of this product over the years, and we've found that this is probably our most controversial product that we sell. So with this being a controversial product, some people will say that it's not a viable product, it's a money trap, don't invest your money. Others have bought this product and it's worked out very well for them. I have a saying that there's no universal best, and to illustrate that, one person may look at a small, compact, fuel-efficient car and say that is the ideal vehicle. Another person may look at a 1-ton dual-wheel pickup truck, 4-wheel drive pickup truck, and say that is the ideal vehicle. The difference is their application. In that there is no universal best. It all has to do with what your application is. Within roll-off equipment, there's a variety of different types of equipment. In these different types of equipment is essentially the mechanism, the method in which is used to load the dumpster onto the trailer or truck. So first of all is the hook lift system, which we've seen those. Usually that's truck mounted. There's a few, maybe one or two that I know of that do a trailer mounted hook lift system. But it just has an arm with a hook that pivots over, snatches the bin as it were, and pulls the bin onto the truck or trailer. And then there's cable lift, and within cable lift there's two different variations. There's a reeving cable and there's also a winch cable. This particular trailer is a winch cable. Then with a reeving cable, there's no drum. There's actually cylinders, hydraulic cylinders with a pulley on the end that will push to retract or extend the cable. Usually that cable is a much larger diameter, and the aspect of the reeving cable is that it can generate a lot of force, but also it's not wrapping the cable over itself, so you get some more longevity out of the cable. With the winch cable, usually today those are a synthetic nylon rope as opposed to the metal wire rope. The weakness there was wrapping over itself over time would kind of mangle and degrade the cable. The other difference is a style in bin and tray styles. This particular trailer is a tray system, and it's not a solid tray as such, but there's these angles here. The bin is a square cornered bin, and it sits like a box inside of these angles and slides up it as a tray. Within the industry, there's three or four, maybe five manufacturers whose tray dimensions are the same, and so their bins, you can use their bins interchangeably with minor modifications. The alternative, the other one, is the rail system, and then the trailer or the truck will have rails. I think the industry standard is 36 inches apart. They'll have two rails the length of the unit, and the bin then will have rollers or brackets that will set on the rails and slide up the rail. Again, there's a few trailer mounted rail systems. Most commonly, rail systems are found on a truck mounted system. Within this range of designs and styles of equipment, it ranges from a commercial heavy duty to a more lighter duty. Hook lifts and reeving cable lifts tend to be a commercial heavy duty application, whereas the winch drum cable lift is more of a lighter duty application. As with any equipment, it all depends, like I illustrated before, what your application is as to what is a good fit for you. What we find a good fit for this lighter duty roll-off equipment is, one illustration maybe of, or one application would be a contractor, commercial or a residential contractor rather, that rents dumpsters on a regular basis, needs a waste disposal solution, and decides to invest in this, and maybe he's tired of, or he's paying enough in waste disposal fees to justify it, or maybe he's having service frustrations, but this is allow him to be able to take care of his waste disposal in-house. Or maybe there's a side hustler who has a main job or business and wants to take on roll-off bins, waste disposal as a side hustle. In either way, for example, backing up to the contractor, he's incorporating this piece of equipment into his overall business model. His business model is not specifically roll-off bins, but that's part of it. And so in both of those applications, they're not seeing the heavy commercial duty usage all day, every day that you would see if you have a waste disposal company that moves bins all day, every day. With this is a much lower cost of entry than your hook lift equipment or your cable reeving equipment. With this, you can get into a trailer like this, presuming you already have the pickup truck to tow it with. You can get into a piece of equipment like this for about $15,000 to $20,000. Maybe a little less if you're really conservative with the options, but about $15,000 to $20,000 will have you equipped to be able to handle bins. Of course, you also need to invest in the roll-off bins as well. $15,000 to $20,000 is a lot of money, but in a day and age where pickup trucks are $70,000 to $90,000, 15 to 20 is attainable. If you're looking to scale your business and to work towards doing waste disposal full time, then you may want to consider investing in the higher cost of entry with a cable lift or a hook lift with a reeving cable lift or a hook lift piece of equipment. So in all of that, it has everything to do with what your application is going to be, whether or not this is a good fit for you. For a lot of people, this is a good fit for them. It enables them at a fairly reasonable cost of entry to be able to be doing either their own waste disposal or be able to be doing waste disposal as a side hustle. But for some people who are looking to scale and to get into this in a full-time commercial sense, this may not be a good place to start. One of the challenges with most of this equipment, most of this lighter duty roll-off equipment, while there is some interchangeability of bins to trailers or bins to equipment inside of that industry segment, it does not generally, those bins are not interchangeable with the more commercial, with the standard rail that you'll find on the reeving cable or the hook lift, which is oftentimes a frustration if you're planning to scale and to take this to full time. So what we handle is the lighter duty aspect or lighter duty spectrum of the product. This trailer here is equipped obviously with the tray system for the bins. MAXX-D is the product that we sell here at Penner Trailer Sales. It comes with a 22,000 pound winch. Having overkill in the weight there is better. More is better than less, of course. And MAXX-D uses a 22,000 pound winch, and also the synthetic nylon rope is a standard rope on our equipment as well. This trailer is equipped with 8,000 pound axles. You can also get them with 7,000 pound axles, but 8,000 pound axles, and for MAXX-D, the 8,000 pound axles come standard with the 17.5 inch 16 ply tires. So you have some pretty heavy duty running gear. This trailer is also equipped with an electric flip over tarp. Now, if you're looking to purchase a rollover trailer, that's one option that you may consider. It's a couple $1,000s. I'm actually not sure off the top of my head what the exact amount is, but $2,200 or so, I think, an upgrade for the tarp. And that might be something easy to look at and say, well, we can keep that off the table for now. But the challenge is that most DOT regulations require you to have your load tarped. With a dumpster, it's an open top load, and so you're required to have it tarped. There may be some applications where you can get by without tarping, but generally you need to be tarped. And some waste disposal locations, landfills or dumping stations, actually won't allow you to dump unless you are tarped when you come in. So with a bin sitting on the trailer, it's going to be at least yay high or so, and quite possibly mounted over with refuse. And so you pretty much have to climb up onto the load and to pull a manual tarp back, unless you have some kind of a pole system or something, some solution to be able to handle that. So it's inconvenient, can be time consuming, and can be dangerous if you were to slip and fall. So the electric flip over tarp really makes that whole process quick, safe, and easy with the push of a button to flip that tarp over your load. Also, with the MAXX-D trailers that we carry, they're standard with a wireless remote. You really want a wireless remote for your winch and for your tilt. That will allow you to be in your vehicle while you're winching up. Maybe you have a heavy bin that you need to back under rather than pull it onto the trailer, or maybe you're dumping at the dumping station and you need to pull forward as you're dumping and you'd like to control the angle of your dump angle. So the wireless remote gives you that flexibility. Another option or another feature as well that I will mention is for there to have a tandem battery. I think most equipment has tandem batteries to power the electric system, but you really want to make sure that whatever you're looking at that it does, because in the loading process of the bin, you're operating a hydraulic pump to run the hoist on the bed, and you're operating the winch, both of which pull a fairly significant amount of power, and especially if it's a heavy bin, that's a lot of demand on a single battery. So you really want to see something with 2 batteries in the toolbox at a minimum. Another thing to look at on whatever piece of equipment you're looking for in a roll-off trailer, you want the tail to have some pretty stout construction, because this tail sees quite a bit of use and abuse, quite a bit of strain in the process of loading a bin. This bed will tilt. As it tilts, this tip of the tray here will pretty much come to ground level. So if you're backing up to a bin, it can catch, bump something, bump into the bin, and then this part of the tray also lifts the front of the trailer, the front of the bin up as you're loading it. So this rear section of the frame here, the tilt frame, sees a lot of strain. So you want to see something that has some pretty stout structure back here. With MAXX-D, obviously you have this stout tube, bumper tube, holding everything together, and then underneath this tray here is gusseted as well to be able to handle some of those extreme strain loads that they'll see. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, has given you helpful information in whatever decision-making process or learning education process you're going through about this equipment, or if you're considering investing into this. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. We'd be more than happy to connect with you and help you out.